Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As mentioned in my previous video, I'm going to talk about the amazing Turkish series called Erkenci. Erkenci means early bird and revolves around the lives of Can Divit and Sanem Aydın. At the beginning of the first episode, you get to meet Sanem, who's this lively, bubbly girl who loves to write novels, dreams about living on Galapagos, and works in the neighborhood's grocery store her father owns. One special thing about Sanem is that she has a photographic memory, which can be a curse but also a blessing for her. One day her mom gives her an ultimatum. She either has to get a job in the real world or has to marry Muzaffer, the neighborhood's weird one, you could say, the one who has always had a crush on her and desperately wants to marry Sanem. Ayhan, Sanem's best friend, gives her the idea that the company Sanem's sister Layla works in is looking for somebody who brings the tea, the coffee, runs errands around the office. Sanem tells her parents about her plan. They are happy that she finally found a job, and Sanem is also happy because she doesn't have to marry Muzaffer. Layla, on the other hand, is not very amused. Sanem actually gets the job because of Layla's boss, Emre, who is the owner's son. The company that I've mentioned a couple of times now is actually an advertising agency owned by Aziz Divit, who has two sons, Emre Divit and Can Divit. Because it's the 40th anniversary of the agency, Aziz Divit invites all his employees to join him and celebrate this anniversary. Just a little side note, first I'm going to talk about the plot and then I'm going into all the characters. At the party, Sanem gets the wrong information from JJ, so instead of going to the ground floor where her seat is, she goes to the first floor to the loges, I think that's the way you pronounce it, I don't know. And there she kisses this mystery guy who is actually Can Divit, but because of the darkness neither of them can see each other. She only sees his shoes, and that's very important because Can wears different kinds of shoes, so they're black but they're different, and that's what she remembers about this person. He, on the other hand, remembers her scent. He thought Sanem was his then girlfriend Polen, and that's why he kissed her, but after the kiss he noticed a different scent, and that's why he knew it wasn't Polen. Sanem runs out of the lodge and desperately tries to find JJ. She doesn't tell anyone about this incident, and during the party she looks at everyone's feet, the male ones. But the thing is, Can actually doesn't like to be dressed up in a smoking or a tuxedo, so he changed, and that's why she can't really find him, because he changed his shoes. And she sees him, she sees his shoes, but walks past him because he doesn't have his dress shoes on. As soon as Sanem comes home, she tells everything that happened to her best friend Ayhan. That night, they come up with a code name for the person that Sanem kissed, and that's Albatros. Why Albatros? Because Sanem loves Galapagos Islands, and she also loves how the albatross bird searches for a mate and stays with his partner. Emre overhears Sanem talking to the person that her father buys groceries from. Sanem's father has a debt worth 40,000 Turkish lira, and because that's a lot of money for them, she tries to convince this person that he extends this period, and she promises him that she will pay her father's debt. Okay, I think I left out a couple of things. Can takes over the agency while their father is away. He's also looking for a spy because Eileen, Emre's girlfriend, always gets the big deals. While Can is looking for this spy, Emre gets a call from Eileen because she sent him the documents for their partnership and he has to sign them. Now, Sanem is very new, so she can't be accused of being the spy. That's why Emre uses her to do all his dirty work. So he bribes her with a 40,000 Turkish lira check, so to be able to use her more, because he's very naive and he saw that and he knows, okay, if I give her something, she will do as I say. And that's what she does. Now, because Sanem is quite clumsy and doesn't really know the way around the office, she gives Can the folder, like the documents of the partnership between Emre and Aylin, and she didn't realize that. So Emre gets really angry with her and tells her to get those documents back, and that's where it gets more tense, because she tries everything to get those documents back. And it's in a red folder, that's very important. All day long she's trying to get those documents back. Right before work day ends, she she thinks she completed her mission, and she swaps the real red folder with another red folder so Can wouldn't notice anything. But then, because he comes back to his office, she rushes and still doesn't really swap the folders, if that makes sense. So when she looks into the red folder, she sees that it's still the wrong one that she has, and Can has Emre's folder. So she's really upset and she calls Emre. Emre gets very angry with her and tells her to go to their house, so Can and Emre live together, and swap the folders and get back out, because Can takes a run every night or every evening, so he wouldn't be at home when she's there. But he comes back while she's there. She's trying to hide. They don't really see each other, so you think, okay, she did it, but then the last second she runs into a chair. He hears that she tries running away, but the door is locked, and he catches her, turns her around, and then they look at each other, and he smells her scent and recognizes her. So you can say from that episode, from the first episode, he knows that she's the girl he kissed at the anniversary. She, on the other hand, doesn't know who he is. She knows him only as Emre's brother, who tries to ruin the company, because that's what Emre told her. Now to the characters. So the first main character is Sanem Aydin, played by Demet Özdemir. I've already mentioned that Sanem is quite bubbly, quite naive, works in the beginning at her father's grocery store, then works as somebody who does errands around the office, but she gets herself in big trouble. You can say from episode 2. I just love Sanem's character. She's so funny, she's so relatable, and that's why I love this show, because she's so relatable. You know, sometimes I'm like, oh god, how dense can you be? Girl, really, don't do that. But then at the same time, if she wouldn't have done that, the story wouldn't have been this great. I just love everything. I love Sanem's style so much. I love her character. I love Demet, how she plays Sanem, how she portrays Sanem. It's just, I don't know, I've never seen such an amazing female character up until now. The second main character is Can Divit, played by Can Yaman. Very easy to remember because Can and Can. If you've watched my previous video, you would know that I know Can from other series as well. But this is completely different. I mean, I fancied him back then as well, but this is just another level of Can, another level of fancy, you could say. He looks so good. He is so amazing. He portrays Can Divit so good. I don't know, and a lot of the things he wants to say, he says with his face, his eyes, just the way he behaves. It's just, I don't know, I can't really explain it, but it's so amazing. His work is like, really, Demet and Can are such huge talents. I love both of them. Now, to the character Can Divit, he's somebody who loves the outdoors. He's a freelance photographer. He's been all around the world. He doesn't like confined spaces. He doesn't like formalities. He just wants to travel. He never really settles. That's why he has, well, they say it's his girlfriend, but he only sees her like twice a year, and only because she comes wherever he is. He's not very invested in this relationship. Yeah, he does have a girlfriend the first couple of episodes, and her name is Pauline. She's a model, and yeah, she will be a little bit of trouble later on. I think it was episode 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there, she really appears and stays for a little while. Even though Can is very perfect, you could say, he also has a big flaw, and that's he's a very big principles guy. So if you lie to him or don't tell him something, it's against his principle, and he gets very angry and cuts you out of his life. So he's very hardcore in that matter. So that's a flaw. At the same time, Sanem has also a flaw. She's very naive, so she believes everything in the beginning, so that's why she makes so many mistakes. And those two flaws, like her naivety and his principles, they collide big time. Episode, I think it was 18 or so, but yeah, it's amazing. I love both of them. His style is just amazing. Can is also the more creative child, so that's why he's a photographer. That's why he will be or is the head of the company, because he comes up with ideas, with slogans, with ads, with everything. He's the creative child, you could say. Emre, on the other hand, his little brother, he is more the analytical one. He is in the financial department. He's very jealous of Can, especially because Aziz, their father, kind of prefers Can or trusts Can more with the responsibility a company or agency brings with it. So Emre overhears a conversation between Can and their father, where their father says, okay, Can, I trust you more that you deal with this spy, because I couldn't find this person. And Emre doesn't know how to work things out, and that kind of infuriates Emre more, and that's why he starts this partnership with Eileen, his girlfriend. Now, she was constantly begging him, you could say begging him, to start this partnership. He was always giving her those little companies and work deals, kind of, to build up her own agency, because she worked at Aziz's agency before, but something happened, I don't remember what, and she was fired. So you could say that Emre and Eileen are the two villains of this series, more Eileen than Emre. Another very important character in the agency is JJ. JJ is the clown. Like, I laugh every single time I see him. He does something. He's amazing. He was the Iran's guy of the agency before Sanem came. He was kind of her mentor. He was helping her out, doing the same stuff she did. They become really good friends over the course of the story. Yeah, his biggest fear is to be fired, and every single time he hears or people are being fired or there's a chance of somebody being fired, he faints. He breathes heavily. It's just so funny to watch. And he can't keep secrets. So if Sanem is telling him something, he just loses his mind because his biggest fear is to tell the secret. So he can't keep the secret. It's just hilarious. I love Sanem and JJ's relationship so much. After Sanem and Can, JJ is number 3 for me, or number 2 even. Another important person in the agency is Deren, the creative manager, and she has a big crush on Can. She always tries to persuade him to go out with her, have dinner, have some drinks. But after some time, she notices that Sanem and Can have something going on, and she gets really jealous. She always talks badly about Sanem. She doesn't like her very much. I mean, I don't mind her. I like her. Sometimes I hate her. It's really funny because she just keeps the agency going with her requests and everything. It's just funny. If she wouldn't be there, you would really miss her. Last but not least, from the people in the agency, is Güliz. She's the secretary, and she can't keep, for the life of her, she can't keep a secret. So if you tell her, don't tell anyone or something like that, she can't keep a secret. Just like JJ, but JJ forces him to keep the secret. Güliz just doesn't care. She tells the whole agency, and every time there's an announcement or something, she just screams it out and is like, everyone listen, blah blah blah, this and that happened, oh we're so happy, and then she claps and everyone claps. It's just so funny. Like, every character has something special about them. It's just, oh god, I love it. I really do love it. Now, from the agency, going to the neighborhood where Sanem is from. Sanem's sister is Emre's assistant, and she's also very analytical, very calculated. Ayhan, Sanem's best friend, calls her the ice queen or something along those lines. The first 15 episodes, somewhere around there, she's very cold. She doesn't like Sanem. She's like very, oh god, keep your distance. But they find their way to each other. It's just like this beautiful sisterly bond you can see growing, and you can see that they love each other. Now to Sanem's parents, Nihat and Mevkbe. They are so adorable. Their relationship, their marriage is just so adorable. Everyone has their special things. Like Nihat always calls her Mevkbe, Mevkbe. Like, he drags her name out. It's just so funny, so adorable. And so Mevkbe, when she's angry, she doesn't talk at all. If you cross this line and get her that angry, she doesn't talk at all. She only talks with her eyes, and that happened twice so far, and it's so hilarious because only Sanem and Layla can understand her her looks. Like, if she wants to say something, she's only like this. It's so hilarious. Like, you have to watch it. And then Nihat tries to calm her somehow and tries to make her talk again. It's just so funny. Another thing that Mevkbe does when she tries to relax herself or it gets too much, she always like does this thing like, whew, like I can't even do it like her. It's just, I don't know, it's really funny. Then there's Ayhan and Osman. Ayhan is Sanem's best friend and Osman is her big brother, and their parents died. He is the neighborhood butcher and he has a crush on Layla. So there's this group: Sanem, Ayhan, Osman and Muzaffer, the weird guy that I've mentioned in the beginning. So Muzaffer has a crush on Sanem ever since they know each other, I believe. His mother hates Mevkibe, Sanem's mother. They always fight with each other. So you always have, next to the Sanem and Can story or plot line, you also have the neighborhood plot line, or Emre and Aylin, or Ayhan, Osman, Muzo, Mevkibe and Muzo's mom. It's just so funny because you don't get bored, because there's everything has a connection, everything makes sense. I don't know, it's just amazing. There's also Melahat, who is the neighborhood's hairdresser, also the neighbor of Sanem and her family, and she's like the gossip queen of the neighborhood. So she tells everyone everything, and if you say don't tell it anyone, she will tell it everyone. So if you need to gossip, go to Melahat. Who else is there? Oh, Signor Fabri. He's an Italian businessman who works with Jan's agency, but also works with Aylin's agency. So Can is the main agency and Aylin does the digital work, if I'm not mistaken. So they meet around episode 5, 6. He appears the first time. There he shows his interest in Sanem. He likes her. He also not really recognizes, but is intrigued by her scent. And Sanem always creates her own creams. That's also something special about her. And he wants to kind of buy this perfume or work with her to create this perfume. I'm so excited where his character is going, where the story is going in general. I don't know if you've already noticed, but I'm so excited talking about this series. I might have left out a few things, forgotten a few things to tell you, maybe to explain to you, but I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so excited. I just love this series so much that everything is bunched up in my brain. I think if I'm going to edit this video, I will be like, oh god, you forgot to say this or you forgot to say that. But anyways, that's all that I get to say right now, that I remember what I wanted to say. I hope I went through all the main characters. I told you what happens in the first episode. I wasn't very excited for this series. I always give summer series especially a try because I have more free time, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch the first episode and then we'll see where it goes. But the first episode got me so hooked to the story that I've just told you, the plot that I've just told you, and I got obsessed with it so much that I'm waiting for a preview every single week. So after every episode they show a scene, like 1 to 2 minutes of the next episode. Then on Sundays or Mondays the first trailer comes out, and then on Thursdays is the second trailer. On Friday they release pictures of the episode that is going to air on Saturday, and also a little summary on what's going to happen next. Yeah, just to summarize everything I've said. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but yeah, bear with me. I love this series so much. I've repeated myself so many times, but I just love this series so much. I love the characters, I love the actors. Every single character has a special something about them, what makes this whole series amazing. The actors are so talented, the whole team, the way it's shot, I love it. Also the styling team, oh, brilliant. I love the styles so much. I don't know, not just that I love this series so much, but also I'm very intrigued and really want to know what happens behind the scenes, how it's shot, how everything works. If I had the chance to meet someone of the team, or I don't know, talk to someone, I would just bombard them with questions, not about the plot or what's going to happen or about the character or anything else. I'm more interested in how does this work, how many days do you shoot, how many takes does it take for a scene, blah blah blah, like more the technical stuff. I don't know, that's just me, but I'm really interested in those things, how things work, how they create such amazing episodes week after week. And that's what amazes me so much, that they shoot an episode a week in advance. And I don't know how they do it, because those episodes, as I've said in my previous video, are up to 2.5 hours long, and it's on a weekly basis. When you're thinking that a Hollywood movie takes up to 2 years to make, to finish, it's just like mind-blowing how much effort goes into each episode. And I'm just amazed, like big respect to the whole team. Such a talented team. So I'm going to wrap this up really quickly because my battery is already flashing, and that's a bad sign. So I really do hope that I got you interested in this series, because it's such a phenomenal series. I hope you got to see how excited I am talking about it, how passionate I am about it, how much I like it and what I like about it. Yeah, I'm just rambling on. Yeah, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really means a lot to me. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring that bell to be notified whenever I post something. And I will see you very soon. Bye!